So like collapse. Here we go.
Alrighty, so we are back, and this is the supplement video that was due last night, but we're gonna do it tonight on Monday because I've just been absolutely slammed with a million different things. But we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. So this is going to be the supplement video on what do I take regularly, what am I taking for prep, why am I taking it for prep, how do I take it, how should you take it, and I'm also going to put the studies right there on the screen so you actually can see why it works, how it works, and it's not just like, oh, this worked for me, this is going to work for you too, and why it's going to work. So you don't have to look exactly into the studies if you're not big on things like that, but if you are, it'll be right there in front of you. So you jump right into it, and vitamin C, I'm only taking just because I got a little scared for being sick right here on the first day of contest prep. And so I went out and bought this just for increased immunity, all of that good stuff. I really don't take this regularly. Honestly, never really recommended or anything, but I just have it and I'm taking it and I didn't want to leave it out. But it does lead me to multivitamin. Multivitamin can have a long-term health effects, and I really only recommend it to people who are on much lower calories, whether they're reverse dieting back or they're contest prepping or whatever the case may be. If they're on lower calories than what they typically should be, then I'll recommend a multivitamin. And I personally, right this second, am not taking one. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to take one throughout my prep, and that's only just because I know that I personally eat enough a variety of different foods, such as, vegetables, fruits, all of that good stuff to actually get all my micronutrients, which is what your vitamins, minerals are. So going straight to the next thing, the one that everybody talks about, the one that everybody knows about or thinks that they do, creatine monohydrate. And so when I talk about creatine monohydrate, I'm talking about creatine monohydrate, not crealkaline, not creatine HCl, not all these other different kinds. And that's because creatine monohydrate is the most cost-effective, most affordable of all the different creatine variants. And all the other kinds like creatine HCl, creatine ethyl ester, they're all inferior to creatine monohydrate. And so every time I talk about, oh yeah, I take creatine, you should take it, I'm talking about creatine monohydrate from here on out in any video or post or whatever it is, all that good stuff. But long story short, you have three energy systems. Your first one is creatine phosphate, then it's your glycolytic system, and then is your oxidative system. Your first 8 to 10, 15 seconds roughly is your creatine phosphate system. And so that is short burst of energy. So, lifting weights or something doesn't last much longer than 15 seconds normally. Maybe a sprinter doing a 40 or something like that could all benefit from using creatine monohydrate. But someone like a runner, like a long distance runner or a swimmer or anything like that is not really gonna benefit from creatine monohydrate. But pretty much what it does is hydrolyzes your muscle with water, and your body is already naturally producing creatine. So it is not harmful for you. Taking too much of anything may be harmful. So yes, that may be harmful if you take too much of it. But, oh man, losing my track of thought. All right, so it's not bad for you. Hydrolyzes your muscle, and
let's see. I'm losing my track of thought right now.
Your body already naturally produces it, and it's actually naturally found in red meats. But the only reason to take this instead of eating a million different red meats, because you literally have to eat a ton of red meats, and it would just be an excessive amount of red meats in order to reach the amount of creatine. So creatine you'd use for typically strength, but as we all know, typically strength leads to hypertrophy, which can lead to weight loss, which can lead to yada yada yada. So you typically would take this and you'll see strength gains. You don't need to load it. You don't need to do all these fancy things with it. Take 3 to 5 grams will work for just about anybody. And timing. When you time your creatine, it doesn't matter if it's with or without carbs. 90% of the time. There is a time that does matter, but it's for almost all of you watching this video is not going to matter. And when you take it pre-workout, post-workout, all that stuff also does not matter. So what I personally do is I take it pre-workout because consistency is key with anything that you're going to do, with lifting or really anything in life. But I take it pre-workout every single day so I don't forget. So my tip to you is take it at the same time every day. Doesn't matter if it's pre-workout, post-workout, just take it at the same time every single day so you don't forget. So if it's the morning, first thing when you wake up, do that. Whatever works for you, do it. All right, so jumping into the next one. Caffeine. Tired suppressing dose and a performance enhancing dose. So when you take the tired suppressing dose, that would be something of maybe 80 milligrams, I believe, is my tired suppressing dose, and that is based off of my body weight. For something like the performance enhancing dose, for me, it's roughly around 400 milligrams. So the tired suppressing dose does not seem to be affected by like your tolerance. So taking 80 milligrams every single day is not going to affect your tolerance of caffeine. Taking a performance enhancing dose more than twice a week typically will affect your tolerance. So taking too much too often will affect your tolerance. So typically when you take just a regular pre-workout, which is what this is for me, I don't take pre-workout, I take caffeine because that is really the main reason for taking a pre-workout. They typically give you 350, 400 milligrams of caffeine. And so by being able to not have it in proprietary blend, all those different things, and just having it in pills, I'm able to just know exactly how much I'm taking and moderate that for my uses and my needs and all that good stuff.
And let's see, I just got a couple notes down here I'd like to look at, make sure I don't forget anything. Got it all.
So I take caffeine pills instead of taking an actual pre-workout. That way I can actually moderate how much caffeine I'm getting. Tired suppressing dose, performance enhancing dose, 80 milligrams for me, 400 milligrams for me. It's different for every single person. It's based off your body weight, relatively speaking, but again, we all have different tolerances to everything. So maybe start at those numbers or start half of what those numbers are and play with them and things. Performance enhancing dose, you will actually see increase in reps, pounds, sets, all that fun stuff and whatnot. Tired suppressing dose you'd use more for something like, you know, you're just tired, you need a little pick-me-up or something like that. Take the tired suppressing, take honestly either of them about 30 minutes before you do it, before you take your lift, or before you lift. I cannot speak today. What a surprise, I can never speak. All right, whey protein, keep this pretty simple. Whey protein is the most superior protein to all proteins out there. Casein, inferior, whatever you guys can think of, inferior to whey protein. The only reason you should take any other kind of protein, in my opinion, would be for, and it's not even opinion, it's really research, but for whey protein, you know, the only reason you should take something else would be like an isolate or something like that, which is easier on your stomach if you have trouble digesting whey protein. It's something to do with the lactobulmins that your body cannot process and things like that. So if you're lactose intolerant is pretty much what I'm trying to say, because I'm not getting into that stuff right now. So when you take whey protein, take 35 grams of it. It hits a certain amount of leucine that's included in the protein already, which activates muscle protein synthesis. That's actually going to be a huge long video on its own, so I'm just going to stop talking right there because I could go on that forever. But plain and simple, whey protein is the most superior kind out there, and I get all my stuff pretty much from My Protein. It's the cheapest, fastest shipping, highest quality that I've seen at all across the market. Not sponsored by them, don't have a coupon code, so I'm recommending them just because it is the best thing that I've personally researched and come across. So, maltodextrin, not really gonna have too much research to show you guys on this because it's more so of a personal and convenience thing, similarly to the protein. It is a complex carb which acts like a simple carb, so it gets into your system very quickly and can be used for energy very quickly, but it's long-term energy. So it would be as simple as eating a Snickers bar, but lasting as long as whole wheat bread would, or something like that for energy. Take this intro workout for contest prep right now. million reasons why, and I'll put that in another video as always, because I'm trying to shorten my videos because I know that I talk way too much, way too long, and I'm probably gonna make this video too long. All right, BCAAs. So this is one of the most frequently used supplements for bodybuilding, and honestly one of the biggest waste of your money for bodybuilding or lifting or running or whatever you're doing. Stop buying BCAAs unless you're a competitor, and even then, kind of a waste of your money. So the only real time to take it, all right, the best time to take it is in between meals, in between high protein meals with carbs, and you'd have to do that 3 times a day. And if you count that out, that'd be like 90 bucks a month. So not worth it, especially for the results you're gonna see. The other time would be in between your weightlifting and your cardio session, kind of throughout your cardio session, or just right in between those two while you're contest prepping. But you have to be at lower carbs for it to actually work. Gonna put that study on the screen, and all these other little things. So if you do read that study, it'll kind of tell you a little bit how to actually do that. But again, the amount of money that it costs and amount of times you need to take it, amount you need to take it, is really not going to be beneficial long term. So if you're not competing, this is definitely a waste of your money. If it tastes good and you like to take it while you work out, great, but you are wasting your money. So there's that. All right. Lastly, fish oils. I recommend taking 2 to 3 grams roughly. That's all based off of many different individualistic characteristics. I cannot speak ever. I take this for inflammation, heart health, and specifically while I'm dieting for leptin signaling. When you diet, any diet, no matter what it is, your leptin decreases. I will go into what that is in another video, but it decreases. It helps with the leptin signaling. So does increasing your carbs and a million other things. But this is just one minuscule way that I'm trying to help combat that from decreasing, especially because I'm already at such a low body fat and trying to get to a very low body fat for this contest prep. All right, so my camera just cut off. It does this all the time, so annoying. But that's all the supplements I'm taking. So 3 to 5 grams of this, 35 grams of whey protein, 3 to 5 grams of creatine, sorry. I take this just because. I take caffeine no more than twice a week, and honestly, I only take the tired suppressing dose when I do, just to get a little pick-me-up. I'm not really hitting PRs and focused on that. I'm more focused on a few other things right now. The end of the prep, I will be using more of the performance-enhancing dose for hunger, tired suppressing, all the different reasons and stuff that it can provide. BCAAs, taking it just because I want to get rid of it. I bought it a long time ago when I didn't really know as much about it, and now that I do know a good amount about it, I just want to get rid of it. So that's really the only reason why I have it when I'm taking it. Maltodextrin, take intra-workout. Tons of reasons, but I'm going to put that in another video because it'll be way too long. Inflammation, leptin signaling, 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, and that is all the supplements I'm taking. So plain and simple, and I will see you guys next time.
Here we go.